All right, hello everybody. So this is a very rare late night stream for me, but unfortunately, I had to cut my stream. Like, I literally had to cut the stream early because I had to go do some actual IRL stuff. One of my soldiers needed to use my laptop, and I'm an NCO, so I had to get his stuff situated. And unfortunately, it took forever. So I'm not gonna yap. I'm gonna get right to it. We're just gonna carry on where I left off. Fortunately, this will be like a very short stream too. Okay, so we were working on this. All right, 30 minutes. All right, so let's give this a few extra frames just for yapping purposes. Okay, that should be good. Let's have the camera pan out right here. All right, so we're gonna add a keyframe around the camera in order to zoom out the camera. So right click, just insert keyframe. There are instances, like I mentioned before, where you might not be able to access your camera. Adobe Animate's weird at times. Just click the camera icon, and you should be good to go from there. Also, before I forget, let's just listen to some music. Give me a second. Ooh. All right, that's fine. All right, so now that we have a keyframe on the camera, we're going to put the camera on 0 on the x-axis. On the y-axis is going to be 0 as well. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, let's do this. We're going to add an extra keyframe just in case. We'll have it for... Let's do it at 3 seconds. I'm adding the frames very slowly so this doesn't crash. Adobe Animate is very notorious for crashing the moment you spam frames. All right, so we're gonna make another keyframe right here. Now we're gonna go make the x-axis 0. Y-axis is gonna be 0 again. The zoom is gonna be 100. What that does is bring the camera back into the main position. All right. Let's zoom in a little bit. In order to make this look actually good, we're going to click anywhere in between this keyframe here and this keyframe. Right click it. We're going to create a classic tween. This is up to your discretion. I normally use ease in and out, but you can use a classic tween for this as well. This is just panning out from their position, zoomed in, all the way back out. Just to make this look good, you might have to add a couple extra frames. There we go. But unfortunately, we are getting towards the limit of this. Adobe Animate has a cap at 16,000 frames. We are getting close. All right, save it. So here's what we have to do. We'll have a little scuffle between these two. What I want to do is we're going to show off the issues of being without a weapon. Because Golden Sun characters always have weapons on them, unless you manually take off their weapons. One could assume that the adepts are durable. One could assume. But let's put them in a situation, Mia, for example, who's very frail. Not as frail as Ivan, but let's put Mia in a situation where she doesn't have her weapon, she just has her synergy, facing a copy of herself. But before I do that, we actually have to watch the movie, because I had to end the stream when I was watching the movie again, unfortunately. It does suck, but I am an NCO, so I have to respond to my soldiers' needs. And the reason why we're doing this late stream is because I'm going to be gone the majority of the day tomorrow. Well, actually the whole day. I'm on a 24-hour shift. Give this a second. Also, bear in mind, I am still in this hotel, so the connection may be spotty at times. We may lose connection, but it'll come right back. All right, let's see. Pretty much everything here is fine. We just have to pay attention to some of Mia's effects because one of her layers is kind of screwed up. Adobe Animate, again, is notorious for that. I really can't believe I was doing this late, but we got to get something done. Because last stream we were primarily focused on Aseprite. We were doing Karis's. Yeah, we're doing Karis's arrows, I think. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to actually do anything with this today, so I'm gonna put some time and we'll do whatever we can. All right, let's see. You have to be very vigilant with scenes like this where there's a lot of stuff happening. Especially with Neo Judgment coming up. I really have to pay attention to this one. All right, so far so good. And as usual, if you want to do a project like this, what you're gonna need, besides patience, Discord. Besides patience, is Aseprite, $2 program, Adobe Animate, definitely not a $2 program, and time. Time is the biggest thing because you'll be doing a lot of work in Aseprite. Like Karis' Sprite over there. We gotta make it from the ground up. We use Jenna as the base and just went with it. The bow and arrow, it wasn't that bad, but it still took a while. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'm pretty much an open book. I will tell you whatever you need to know to take on a project like this. Because again, this project is very difficult. Okay, let's see. I think Mia's back pose was definitely a good thing we did. All right. That can be a little bit slower, so we're gonna add a couple more frames to that. But we got the right amount. We just need to add like at least 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how would combat be just hand to hand, just straight up synergy? That's a good question. Let's think. Because we have... All right. Let's look at our Mia sprites. Mia... Oh, yeah. So I have to add Mia casting without any weapon, which is fine, because, again, we went overboard with Mia sprites, because Mia is arguably one of the most complex characters to work with, because there's a lot of things going with her. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to have to turn off the camera, because you never want to resize with the camera on, because the camera is glitchy. We go to my assets. Give me a moment. Go to some project, which is now approaching 16 gigs. Oh, we actually ended up finishing the Invincible gag, which I'll show in a second. Can't believe we actually did it. I'll add this scene later on in when we actually get to the DaVinci Resolve portion. All right. Somehow, some way, we got this to work. Could have been better, but a lot of characters, a lot of demonic characters will be really hard to deal with. So we got Mia Estrag. We just put a, is it a nightmare? Yeah, we put a nightmare. We put a Druge. I recolored the assassin. We put a needle. We put the needle dude just in case. We put a, can't remember what you were called actually. You're on the ghost enemies, and we just put Hydras there just for the gaggle fuck in the background. But we did it. We definitely did it. And Karis, we definitely got something with this. We're good. Like she has crouch arrow shooting. We're getting there. We spent a long time with that this morning, well, this afternoon, but we got it. All right, let's not waste any more time. We got like 15 minutes left, so let's actually try to do something here. Okay, Mia casting, Mia. I think what I can do, because your head's gonna be down the entire time, so I need her front cast. Okay, perfect. You know, I don't have... How would she block? That's a good question. How would you block? We might have to make a sprite for that. An unarmed block. Also, please be patient with me. My English is terrible. English is not my first language, so please be careful. Please be patient. Okay, so what we have to do, we'll work with the clone. We'll work with this one first. We're gonna insert a blank keyframe, make her disappear. Mia looking down menacingly. Mia looking down menacingly. Okay. So since we created a blank keyframe over here, we're gonna drag it, put it right on top of where Mia was. Fortunately, again, Adobe Animate is not the best at this. It's gonna put this PNG all the way in the top left, so we have to go drag it. Oh no, it actually decided to work this time. Usually it goes to the top left. We'll zoom in. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as just going up with free transform. You have to turn this into a symbol first. OBS is stupid, so you're not going to see exactly what I'm going to click, so I'm going to guide you through this if you want to follow along with your own little project. These VODs will be up forever, so VOD crew, enjoy it. Lurkers, continue using the void. We appreciate you and enjoy the VOD. So click modify. First thing you're going to do is go to bitmap. You're going to trace bitmap. Color threshold is going to be 1. Minimum area is going to be 1 pixels. Corner threshold is many corners. Curve fits pixels. Okay. You press F8 on your keyboard. It's going to give you the option to convert this to a symbol. Call it whatever you want to call it. And just make sure the type's on graphic. So we'll just call this Mia casting head down. Perfect. So we're good. Now you can actually resize this. The issue that you might have if you don't turn this into a symbol is the sprite might come up blurry. 9 times out of 10 it'll probably be blurry. Okay, now I keep things uniform, so we're gonna actually match it up to the sprite that was behind this. And for those curious, I have anyoning on right now, so I know exactly where to place Mia. If you turn it off, Mia just disappears. All right, let's see. It should be... Yeah, it's still the same. So 176.75 for height, 76.7 for width. $176.75, 76.7. Also, remember to save your project. I don't use autosaving because autosaving, for some odd reason, autosaving always comes on at the worst possible moment. Specifically when there's a movie playing. Because I watch movies a lot just to make sure there's nothing too crazy happening. But if your project is as long as this, like this is pushing the 3 minute mark, it can autosave, get stuck at like a certain percentage, like 70%, and just be there forever. Then you're screwed. You can't do anything. All right, so let's get her exact positioning on the x-axis. So she is 569.7. You can try to match it up with onioning, but I like being very specific with my positions. And this is still probably gonna be off. No. So here's the thing. I might have gotten this wrong. We're to go back and confirm it. 569.7. 569.7. So now we should be good. So here's what I want you to do. Pay attention to where Mia's position is right now. Unfortunately, again, Mia's a very complex sprite. It's not lined up. I have OCD, so I'm gonna make sure this is lined up because you see her Uggs right here. It's not matched. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click the keyframe. We're gonna move it with the arrows just to get as close as we can. It's still gonna be relatively off, but it's close enough. Perfect. All right. Next thing is because we want Mia's sprite to match the background. We go to color effects. I already had this on -50 with every sprite on here right now, so this is gonna be on -50 automatically. But if you want to turn the brightness down, just click on color effects and go to brightness, and you're good to go. Save it. So we're gonna have this Mia cast something. Oh, it's been 15 minutes already. Damn. All right. We moving. We'll play a extended song, and when it's done, we'll be finished. But what do I want to listen to? What do I want to listen to? All right, RNG, give us a good song. Ooh, all right, perfect. All right, so now we're good. The only problem is we don't have a blocking sprite for Mia, which we'll probably have to do. So give me a second while I look at my sprites. I actually don't have I have a sword blocking sprite, which we probably just use. Or we can do a frontal block. You know, I have an idea. Okay, yeah, I have an idea. All right. Let's go to Aseprite. Give me a sec. I'm still working on one monitor, unfortunately, so this is kind of hard. There we go. We don't need this up anymore. Don't need this up again. I'm very happy with the way this came out. We'll be putting this in the sprite animation. And also, if anybody ever has any suggestions, just let me know. Put in the comments what you want me to try to add in. We've made weird things happen so far, like Sarah over here having a gun. She's gonna be an antagonist. For those that are curious, this is a reimagining of the Golden Sun story. It's gonna be loosely following this canon, but making this more adult-oriented and more mature. We'll be fixing plot holes. We will be adding more aspects of it. We'll be fixing things I personally feel should be fixed, and we'll just go from there. So it's a forever evolving story. But besides all that, I like to give myself plenty of wiggle room when it comes to working with sprites. So I'll give myself about 128 width and 128 height. Right now, we're gonna bring up two of Mia's sprites because I need her to block forward. We'll bring up that one. We'll bring up this one. Oh, this is actually good. Perfect. We actually don't need that one up. So we'll use this as a base. Copy. I'm probably just gonna have to take her arm and move it this way. We'll just have to make something here. Yeah, this can work. We'll have to just fix this. That's not bad. The problem is we'll have to make this. We probably will have to rotate this, unfortunately. I don't think we will, actually. Yeah, that's good. That's good. We have to do it like that. Okay, perfect. Start cleaning things up a little bit. Fix this. And this is what I meant. You'll spend hours or probably a long ass time in Aseprite. No. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Take that. That's fine. Yeah, we could actually use that. It's perfect. Fuck. There we go. Excuse my French. Just gotta fill this up a little bit. Actually, no. Here's what I have to do. This is a situation where you're gonna have to make another layer and put it behind Mia. Paste. Put that right there. Right here should be good. It's good. I'm gonna make it's -5 on the z-axis. Actually, no, that's good. Perfect. -1 is good. So we're gonna grab this and move it a little tiny bit to the right. Perfect. Good. We just gotta fix her jacket, and I think we're good to go. Oh, I forgot to do the toxic YouTube spiel. If you like what you're seeing, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That lets this get out to more people who love Golden Sun, who want to take up a project like this, who want to expand their love for Golden Sun in different aspects. Who would have thought you'd be able to do sprite animation for Golden Sun sprites? It's still baffling that I was able to actually get this to work right, but I encourage anybody to take up a project like this, especially if you love the series, because we're running on tough times right now. We really are. I do like this. We're going to take this. Because we need to make sure we're feeling the oomph. Let's do this. We're going to copy this twice. This one has to go behind. I can add at least... No, I don't need to add one more. I just need to, like, put something here. Let's bring this up a little tiny bit. Fuck. And I can just fix that right there. Perfect. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete this now. Perfect. We just need to grab this little section. I'll rotate it a little tiny bit. I'm going to copy this, paste it, bring this down, start rotating this. Just to fill this in a little bit. Okay, perfect. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do. Grab a little bit of this. Fuck. Reduce the sizing of this a little tiny bit. Oops. Get this a little bit more color. Okay. Just make it seem like our coat is actually getting like the after effects of blocking this. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this. It's one of those one-off sprites. Well, I can't even say it's one-off because I don't know what we're gonna do going forward, but definitely wanted to do some no weapon combat because she doesn't have a weapon right now. She doesn't. Via block, no weapon. All right, let's go back to Adobe Animate. We'll do the exact same thing we did a few minutes ago, and we're running out of time. Again, this is a very rare late night stream, but unfortunately, duty calls, and I had to help one of my soldiers out earlier. Okay, so same thing, blank keyframe on Mia. We're gonna go to her sprites that we just made. Mia block. Bring her right here. Modify it, bitmap, trace bitmap. Make sure color thresholds on 1, minimum error is 1 pixels, corner threshold many corners, curve fit pixels. Press F8. We'll just call it Mia blocking. Okay. I remember the sizing. The sizing is going to be 176.75, 76.7. Color effects is going to be on negative. We'll just have to bring this up a little tiny bit on the y-axis. Not that bad. I can just manually bring it up. Oh! Make sure if you're not using a layer to turn it off. I might have to make this a little tiny bit wider though. I wasn't lying when I said Mia sprites are very awkward at times. So we're going to move her over to the left a little tiny bit. Perfect. All right. Give ourselves a few extra frames. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to actually go find effects. Save it. Let's do one more watch, then we'll wrap it up for tonight. Again, thank you whoever stopped by. It was a great stream. Very short one, but I was making up for lost time from earlier. All right. Oh, initial D. And as usual, if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, just put in the comment section. Let me know. If you dislike the video or stream, I'll know I'll have areas that I need to improve on, so it's all good. Any feedback is fine. And I do encourage you to take projects like this up. It's difficult. I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But if you take the time, practice, and just go from there, and it should be good. And oh, hey, there's the gag. Turn on the camera before you watch a movie. This is what I meant. Adobe Animate is glitched at times because we're missing frames at the end. But like I said, I do encourage you to take up projects like this. It is hard. We're not going to deny it. You're going to be spending a lot of late nights. It's 12:30 at night right now. And I got to go do a 24-hour shift tomorrow. But I knew I would be ticked off tomorrow that I didn't at least do something on Adobe Animate. Okay. Just give this a second. So what we've gone over in this stream is pretty much adding new PNGs, converting them into, well, tracing the bitmap, converting them into symbols, modifying a sprite, changing the tint in order to fit the background. So that we've done a few things. Like once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. Like muscle memory will just take over. Like Minardi's promo pose over there, that's just something I just made up from scratch. I just took Minardi as a base and just went ham on it. English, I will learn you. I'm debating changing the icicle though. And for people wondering why they're fighting, again, this is a reimagining of said story. So I had Isaac, Garrett, and Ivan fight Satoru solo. I had Mia break away and go chase after Minardi because I felt Minardi was definitely really underutilized in main game. You only fight her 1.5 times. And Mia, after Mercury, is just honestly just there. I will take that to the grave. I'm like, they set you up as a pretty good character. You have a connection with Alex, but they didn't really go anywhere with that. That's one of the biggest things with this project. Just make sure characters that were neglected actually get their time to shine. Especially Shiba. Later on, Shiba, I have tiles for days. Anemos, you shall be made. But that's once we get over to Goals 2 eventually. Heart's here because of time shenanigans because the Dark Dawn world got destroyed in this story. It got swallowed up by the end vortex. Tuaparang, being a military organization, quote unquote, tech savvy, was able to leave said world. And they just came to this world. Bad Jenna. Yeah. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah, it's annoying. It is annoying, but once you get the hang of it, it's all good. Yeah, like damn, spending hours. Like I spent like at least 4 hours on this one sprite. This one sprite took me 4 hours to do. Even the invincible gag that I did, that took so long to make. Like I'm gonna watch the movie again just to make sure everything's good before I wrap it up. But yeah, oh my god, like if you really have to have the time and the patience, especially for a project like this where you have to really make you have to make sacrifices with this. Like there have been plenty of times where like, damn, I really don't want to alter this sprite. I'm gonna have to alter this sprite. That's why I do encourage people to take projects like this, but just know what you're getting yourself into. Like, we're very limited. But it's good. It's good teaching people this. It really is good. All right. Like, even like the parkouring thing, this took a while to make. I would have been very sad if this crashed on us. Because we had a... Let me actually go over that real quick. Then I'll do one more watch this. So with the parkour section, we're gonna go to Mia's sprites. Let's back. All right, let's see. Let's actually listen to godlike music real quick before I wrap this up. Okay. So let's watch the parkour section. So I have her showing up from that section of the screen. She's gonna go right there, make an ice clone. So the ice clone itself, it's its own separate symbol. I just tinted it blue so it could actually seem like it's an ice clone, but that's just her damage sprite. So the ice clone itself is its own layer. Mia's layer is right here, the actual Mia that we're using. Hold on, let me actually see if this is actually showing right. Let me bring this down a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm gonna turn off onioning so you actually see this better. So I had Mia's sprite show up here on this keyframe. I added another keyframe here and had a tween, so it looks like she's coming from the ice clone. Then I used her dashing sprite to have it look like she's grabbing onto the ice clone. Then we did another tween. Tweening is your best friend. We did another tween to make it seem like she's flipping. I thought I was gonna run out of space. Then we had her, and I quote, jumping sprite, do a flip, and had her land. And that's just use of keyframes and tweening. It's actually really hard. It's really hard, but it's totally worth it. Now, we had her block this, which is fine. We had her do another ice clone, which is pretty much me using her sprite and just tinting it. We use another layer for that. So we do the exact same thing here. So Mia's normal sprite, added a keyframe there, add another keyframe there to show that she's coming from this ice clone. Had her do a slash. Then from there, the slash itself is a keyframe. In order to make it go downward, added another keyframe. It made her sprite go down. Perfect. And just had her land. Even though this is... I have to reduce the size on this while I'm here. Hers. Oh, ooh, look at that. This is what I mean. Sometimes your layers will get screwed up. You have to be very cognizant of that. Layers will screw up. Like this whole scene is moving very, very fast, so you barely notice it. Yeah. This should disappear. We can just remove like one frame from that. Perfect. There we go. This is why we do the constant rewatches. Like I noticed that her sprite was pretty big, so we're gonna actually reduce the size a little bit. Also, turn off the camera if you're gonna be resizing things. All right. Yeah, that's way too big. This should be 176.67. But 75 actually. We just gotta move her down a little bit. 76.7. So we have to have her land. We have to match this up to the onion, so we're gonna bring this up a little bit closer. There we go. Right there should be good. So we just got to make sure it's actually matched. Perfect. And the same thing. We have her damaged right there, and we just add a tween. We're going to zoom out. It may seem like a lot, but once you get the hang of it, it's all good. That's what, yeah, that I have one. I'm actually gonna do that right now before I wrap this up. Good idea. So right there. Yeah, it's been 5 minutes. I'm currently working on one monitor, so it's hard actually switching off between the two. My other monitor broke. I still don't understand how it broke, so I gotta get another one. Okay. Give me a moment. All right, fuck it. Landing. All this on landing. Game assets. Go this on lore. Let's see. I think I have it over here. It's funny, I have over almost 10 gigs worth of just effects. It's so hard at times. You have so many effects, you just don't know what to use. All right, let's see, universal resources. Nope. I might have to just use... Okay. Landing... Alright, we're not going to be able to use those, that's fine. This is why we have other resources. So... Gifts... Miscellaneous... Okay, got a perfect one. So we're gonna use 3, and we're gonna turn it. We'll use 9 actually. So bring it over here. 9. Give it a second. Save it just in case. Again, I use manual saving because auto saving this is very, very busted. All right. So let's bring this over to the left a little bit. So she lands right there. All right. We'll use the hit spark layer. So 9. All right. This might have to be a little bit earlier. We're gonna turn this into a movie clip first. But before we do that, we're gonna turn this into a graphic. So let's zoom out a little bit. The reason why we turn this into a graphic is to actually see where this starts and where this ends. Perfect. That's actually good because this ends right before she gets slapped. So we're gonna insert a blank keyframe over there just to stop it. We're gonna resize it now. Just make this a little bit smaller. Is the camera off? Yes, it is. All right. Let's reduce it a little tiny bit. Turn this back into a movie clip. We're gonna screen it. Actually, let's try adding it. Screening it's a little bit better. All right, we'll definitely try screening it. All right, turn on the camera again. Let's watch the movie. But like I mentioned before, fortunately, Adobe Animate is capped out at 16,000 frames, which really sucks. This portion of the project is gonna have to be wrapped up soon. We're gonna be starting up the next section probably in the next couple of days, because I just recently pushed 10,000. All right, we went into a little bit of overtime, but it's all good. Because again, I had to wrap the stream up earlier because I had to go take care of military stuff. All right, let's see. Perfect. I can add that right there too for the hop. We could just use that as a placeholder for now. I can just go through my assets later when I have a little bit more time, and I can probably just switch it out later. Let's see. For those familiar with KOF, you'll definitely know where that's from. Let's see. I'm not worried about the effect stopping on the sword for now. I can fix that later. Out of this section, I definitely feel I like everything about this. Like everything came out exactly the way we planned it. Wink, wink, wink. But this section right here definitely is one of my favorites because Neo Judgment was an accomplishment. Because summons, as we already know, we are very limited with summons. Summons, they just show up and just do their thing, and that's it. We took a concept and just made it our own separate thing, and I saw that. I'm gonna fix that in a second. It's probably like an extra frame, but I'll fix that in a bit. And we referenced Dragon Ball. The Tien and semi-perfect cell aspect works so well here. We have to add shaking to that later, because we need to feel the impact. I'm going to reduce the frames on this a little bit just to make it a little bit faster. For eagle-eyed people who have played Golden Sun before, you'll notice night stages. Honestly, the entirety of the Golden Sun games, besides 2 sections, happen in the daytime. So we're adding more dark stages. The bow and arrow, also one of the best things we did, because bow and arrows don't exist in the first and second game. Once we get to DaVinci Resolve, this will make a lot more sense, because once you're animated, things don't make sense at all. This is just the raw file. Like, once we actually start adding dialogue, things will start making a lot more sense. To some, it might seem like, damn, there's a lot of things happening at once. Where's the rhyme and reason? We're not doing that in this section. This is broken down into 3 sections: Adobe Animate, DaVinci Resolve, then CapCut. Perfect. So let's fix those sections that I mentioned. Zoom this out. All right, let's see. And again, I've never streamed this late, but unfortunately, things happened earlier, and I had to stream this late. It's all good. It's all fine. All right, so there was I think there was an extra frame here. Wait, was there? Yeah, right there. I don't know why that's there, but we're just gonna move it. And the camera should not be there. This is why we do the rewatches, just in case. Perfect. And I did say I wanted to do something right here. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that. There should not be a... Yeah, holy shit. This is why you have to be very, very careful. So let's fix this. Because this needs to be right here. That has to be right there. This camera needs to be right here. Interesting. Very interesting. There we go. I highly recommend. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. I recommend anybody doing a project like this, especially with Adobe Animate, please do rewatches. You will notice when things go array like this. Because you just never know. You always want to do rewatches because things happen. Like, we noticed the camera was kind of screwed up. Some layers were kind of iffy, and we got to fix them. All right. So here's what we're going to do here. Let's... Eventually, I will get a new monitor. Eventually, I will. Because doing this on one screen is really hard. Having everything just on one screen. I don't like that. Yeah. You see this? Things aren't lined up on the camera, which I don't like. So where to fix this? Please do rewatches, everybody. People who watch the VODs, do rewatches. If you see things aren't lined up in uniform, please check. So what I wanted to do is we were going to reduce a couple frames. 5. I'm going to be using Metal Slug assets soon, too. You see that? Yeah, that's definitely not good. Because look at Heart Sprite. This is where it's supposed to stop right there. Yep, something got screwed up. And we are going to fix that. Blank keyframe there. We're going to reduce the frames. Line this up right here. Perfect. All right. Okay. So I think this should be fixed. And like I mentioned before, do not let this deter you from taking up a project like this. Things do happen. You just have to have eagle vision just to make sure you have everything good. So let's rewatch this and we'll go from there. We're gonna do like an extra 5 minutes, just make sure everything is good. Because the biggest thing that you have to worry about, especially when you're dealing with the camera, is just to make sure layers don't get screwed up, because it's really easy to lose track of things. The camera, like we've seen, is not... It's glitchy. Like, we're not gonna deny it. It really likes to glitch at times. This is why certain effects I don't use anymore. Because we got a comment a couple weeks ago that some of the effects that I'm using is pretty... It doesn't match the backgrounds and the pixels. There's a reason why I'm doing that. I know it's kind of jarring, but some effects use ActionScript 2.0 and some of them use 3.0, the more recent one. ActionScript 2.0 is not compatible with this version of Adobe Animate, so it can glitch. It can cause crashing. Crashing in Adobe Animate is crazy because Adobe Animate will see a symbol that's corrupted and replace it with a white dot. It's happened on stream to me before, and you'll crash. Sometimes you're lucky and nothing crazy will happen, but there have been times where I'll be like knee deep into a project, like almost at the end, then a massive crash happens, and lo and behold, Adobe Animate, instead of getting rid of the corrupted symbol, will kamikaze the entire project. It's crazy. Like it's really, really nuts. Then we found out the reason why this happens is because of incompatible effects. And unfortunately, a lot of my effects that are incompatible are the pixel ones. It's a trade-off, unfortunately. You have to make sacrifices. This is why I'm using like these effects. I'm using specific effects that I know will not cause Adobe Animate to crash. We haven't had a crash in months. Okay, so far we're not seeing anything too crazy. Like, the layers look good. We're not seeing any artifacts. That's positioned great. All right. We definitely have to we don't have to fine tune that section. I think that section's fine, but we got a little bit more fluff. And that comes with the CapCut section, because the CapCut section is going to be the more crazy, fluffy effects. Like right now, like I mentioned before, this is the raw aspect of it. Okay, perfect. Now this looks better. The camera kind of did get screwed up a little bit over there, because we had her a little bit more zoomed out when she attacked. That's nothing too crazy. Like, we can just add a few extra more frames to that. But I think it's fine for the most part. And like I mentioned before, if anybody has any suggestions, just let me know. I'm pretty open. I love constructive criticism. This project's a never-going project. It's a community-based project, so I take any suggestion and I try to implement it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know the whole YouTube thing, so this project can get out to more people, so they can take up projects like this. I'd rather... Yeah! That's why I kind of went through the trouble of using all effects in GIF format, so I don't have to stress over compatibility action errors. It's crazy, like... It'll be like, oh, ActionScript 2.0 is not compatible. I'm like, okay, I can still use the effects, but no, I can't anymore. So I have my own personal effects that I use, like, that I've used over the years that are still good, but I'll give you a good example. I'm not going to add it in there, but I'm going to load up a certain folder that I use, a certain effect that I use. Give me a second. And Adobe Animate's already glitchy. Okay, so I'm going to bring up Kaya's effect real quick. Let's see. Downloads. Goals on project. FLA. Alright, we're gonna bring up... we'll use specials, because specials will load up a lot faster. Okay, so here's Akai's private section, which has a good assortment of effects. Really, really good assortment of effects. Like if I wanted to use, like, if I wanted to use 3D grass for some weird reason, like this is great. But this, let's zoom in a little bit. This might not be compatible with Adobe Animate. It'll load up, but it's not 100% guarantee it'll work. Especially like this effect. Let's see. Actually, where is Crumbling Blast? Crumbling Blast is a very notorious old school effect. This, I've gotten the error before. Let's see. This is why I'm using my own personal effects, because you just never know. Like, I've ran into the issue before. Like, if I had to describe it, look at Heart Sprite over here. It will be replaced by a white dot. That's how you know this project is now pretty much corrupt. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this kind of got screwed up a little bit. This really did get screwed up. Because I had more emphasis on this section. So here's what we're gonna do. Fuck. We're gonna turn this effect into a graphic again. Well, to a movie clip. Well, graphic. Oh. Also, I do apologize for the random disconnects. I'm in a hotel right now. Yeah, this deployment's almost over. It's almost over. I'll be back in my barracks in July, so we got 2 more months. I want people to be, if you're gonna take up a project like this, be very careful where you source your effects. Like this principle, there's a lot of effects around nowadays. There is. Hell, just you can make a good project just with Toho effects. But if you want those elaborate effects, just make sure it's compatible with whatever software you're using. Like, I'm using my effects from the Newgrounds days. Like, as soon as I'm done with this project, I'm moving back to Sonic, or I can probably just start a Sonic project with this congruently. But be very careful. Like, if you're gonna be using Adobe Animate, you have to know that Adobe Animate these days uses ActionScript 3.0. If you have effects that use 2.0, you might not be lucky. You might get into a random crash that will screw us up. But unfortunately, like, I am running out of time, so I gotta be up like a couple hours. I'll be back in 24 hours, so I'll see people on Sunday. As usual, like, comment, and subscribe, support the project. Take up a project like this. I do recommend it. It's awesome, but just know you could be doing a lot of work. Besides that, any questions, comments, and concerns, put in the comment section. I'll read it and I'll respond. Have a good one, everybody. Take care and enjoy the VODs.